Boxers create alter egos around themselves in order to lock in inside the ring. Mike Tyson's got Iron Mike, Kid Dynamite, Manny Pacquiao's got Pac-Man, and every time I'm put in for a round, I pretend to be a JoJo stan. Wait, what? Either way, confidence is key to winning fights, and alter egos give people confidence. So, if confidence wins fights, and alter ego creates confidence, we need to become our own alter ego. And in order to fully embody our alter ego, we need to start dressing the part. And you know, since I become a JoJo stan in my head, we need to make boxing gloves. So I started this project wanting to make deals, but I made a concept that I genuinely got a headache from. For the first time, I realized the difference between somebody who theorizes and somebody who actually makes a thing. Because, you know, in order to actually make the boxing glove, I'm gonna need to make a 3D model so that I can send to a manufacturer to actually make the glove, you know. I made a drawing. It was hard for me to imagine in a 3D space. So for now, I'm just gonna put this to the side. And it makes it a little bit easier. So I move on to King Crimson. And the first challenge of this gruesome journey occurred, learning how to hold a goddamn pencil. Okay, hear me out. So after staying in online college for 2 years, I've not needed to do this for the last year and 5 months. So when I first picked up a pencil, it felt like... And not only that, I haven't drawn anything since 1944. But after a good hour of just strengthening my grip, looking at the glove, and staring into King Crimson's luscious body, I finally wrapped up a concept. Dude, this looks like shit. Oh. Nah, I meant like your drawings. Your drawings suck. Which hurted, but it's true. If I wanted to make this a reality, I'm gonna need to create a vision that's more tangible. It doesn't look like a child drew it for his dad's validation. And this is where Blender comes in. Blender. I hate this program. So I've never touched Blender before. So when I first opened up the program, I genuinely got cancer. But I thought to myself, I'm sure if I watch a few YouTube videos, I'll get this Blender stuff down in no time. I did not get the Blender stuff down in no time. I did not get the Blender stuff down. Why does a donut tutorial have a 14-part series? Why does it do that? Well, I don't understand. But I eventually came across a solution. Don't hate me. You would think that would be it, but no, I haven't even figured out how to actually paint the fucking thing. So, as you imagine, as somebody who's new to Blender, bro, why the fuck is it doing that? Color. Change color. The hell is a UV mapping? What, am I doing this right? And of course, it wasn't attached. Why aren't you attached, bro? Why aren't you? It's not. Change color, it's not working. I love selecting vertices manually. It's not like this is a waste of time or anything. It's not a fucking waste of time. Yeah, let's go. Look at that. Look at that. I did that. I did that shit. Making sticky fingers! So after going through the hellhole of learning Blender basics, here is the final product. And no, I'm not doing an edit for every single glove, but I was pretty proud. Even though I stole majority of the assets, I did learn a lot from the first project, and I think the first one did end up looking pretty cool. It didn't look crazy, but now I have a 3-dimensional glove that I can work with and send to manufacturers, which is pretty sick. But I couldn't stop here, let's be honest. Even though King Crimson's arrow looks really cool, if we were to actually punch a punching bag with this, it'd probably break, like immediately. So King Crimson's gonna need a friend. So why not pick one of his traitorous friends, Bucciarati, Sticky Fingers. After making King Crimson, this was the point where I realized I could be a little bit more creative with the stand designs. Especially since it felt like Sticky Fingers had so much more to work with in terms of what I was actually able to translate into the glove. And the fact that his zipper looked so goddamn cool made this even better. So without hesitation, we got straight to work. But of course, there were problems due to my lack of knowledge in Blender. And although conceptually, I thought it looked really cool, making it in Blender was probably one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my life. Keep in mind, up to this point, a majority of my Blender skill has just been UV unrendered. But for some forsaken reason, Sticky Fingers zipper does not exist anywhere as a Blender model. And it's like, why? Come on. There's gotta be some Roblox model out there. So I actually have to learn Blender and 3D model the thing myself. Don't you think that's like severely obvious? What do you mean? Like obviously, if you have Blender open, you're gonna have to learn Blender. Obviously, if you have Blender, why don't you shut up? Okay. As you can imagine, I was sitting there on my computer, switching through YouTube tutorials, Sticky Fingers, and Blender. Actually, here's a fun fact. For some reason, Sticky Fingers zippers constantly change every time I look at them. While I was looking for reference images and switching through Blender and Google, I genuinely got confused and I thought I was slowly losing it because every time I would look at one image, his zipper would look different from another image. I thought this was just me being crazy, so I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. But anyway, after 2 hours of just me trying to brain work through these Boonlean shrink wraps, XYZ axes, and all this bullshit. I finally finished Sticky Fingers, which honestly, from King Crimson to Sticky Fingers, the design looks pretty sick. Look, my blender skills aren't crazy, but damn, it's not too bad. Especially for someone who just started about yesterday. So, we move on to the next project. They're the same stand? After what I thought was a huge success, I started writing up on some other concepts, or I guess drawing. I made Star Platinum, which I basically breezed through because I basically just took his hand and then shoved it into a glove. I made Saitama from One Punch Man because I got bored of JoJo for a bit. And two of my friends came up with two really good ideas that I thought were really cool, and I just combined them together to make this one glove. And I honestly thought it would be really funny to counterpunch someone with this if I ever do actually make it in person. But anyways, after going through all the experiences, I think I was ready to finally work on Dio's The World, the whole reason why I was here. But as we got started, I ran into my first small problem. I have no idea how I was going to make this clock shape. Out of all the things I did in my other projects, for some reason I did not know how to turn this circle into this clock thing. Shrink wrapping is not going to help me do this. And I had no idea what to search, but luckily after looking around a bit more and accidentally stumbling across the edit section in Blender, I felt really stupid, but I figured out how to actually make the clock. Which was hype, not really hype, I felt really dumb. But luckily, that wasn't enough to stop us. As planned, I continued to push through Blender's bullshit, using everything I learned to finish this project. With the experience I gained in modeling from making Sticky Fingers and shoving objects together, I was able to fill in the jacket portion of the glove. And pretty easily, even though it took way too long. With my texture painting skill I learned from my King Crimson project, I became even more confident with my final product, because I pretty much breezed through my painting part. And of course, there was some stuff I just didn't know how to do, like making the heart here, but all I had to do was really just search up a tutorial on it and call it a day. But surprisingly, after 1 to 2 hours compared to the previous 3 to 4 hours, I was finally done. Here it is, the final glove of the week. Dio's The World. Weird enough, right after I finished the clock, but honestly the hard part was over. Using the previous skills I learned from the other two projects, making Dio The World wasn't that hard. And after adding the jacket shoulder things, coloring everything up, making the clock look nice, finishing up the texture colors, I think I made a pretty successful Dio The World. So now I'm gonna make the glove in person. See ya!